Okay, howdy again. Working on getting the inner fender well done on the creamsicle. Running into problems. I'll turn the phone around and show you and stuff. Got it bolted at the front with the 3 bolts. Had to refigure this because it was creased out. First issue is it's already got some nicks and scrapes in it. Up there too. Come on, phone. Yeah. Next problem is, if you can look here, you can see this offset. This has got to come up to here. But I can't push it up. One, because I can't go up enough because of the spring. And 2, you can see it's hitting the battery tray, which scraped it up a lot. The whole thing's got to come back about 1 inch to line up with this rubber mount back here. And this front mount is about 1 inch forward, or it's got to come back 1 inch. And right now, battery tray's in the way, and it's in the factory spot. So I'm going to have to get in there and take it out and go from there. I'm probably going to trim a little bit off. Can't go too far because there's a lip on the bottom of this runner. Yeah, you can see where everything's getting scratched up. Sucks. It's like the fender well is sitting up in the front and got to come down to close that gap in the back. I put in the stock rubber bushing. I do have a thinner one. It's not much thinner. I'll put it in. This one's about 1/8 of an inch. That one's like 1/4 of an inch. So I will try that and see how that works out. I don't have a second one like this to put on that side. Because it didn't have one. So yeah, I'm going to try that. Yeah, you can see the angle from over here, that it's sloping down at the top in the back. Yeah, let me try that, and I'll come back, see if that worked. Okay, I switched that rubber bushing out. It really didn't change much. I don't think it really changed. Was it got it dead on with level, because before it was like that. About 1/8 of an inch out on one side. Alright. Let me pull the battery tray back out. Get that squared away. And I'll bring you back later once I got that out and see what happens. Amazing how you take something apart that's factory, you go to put it back together in its factory locations and nothing fits. And I know I didn't move the cab because there's not enough room in the cab mount to move it. So, alright, I'll be back later. What I ended up doing was I ended up taking the battery box back off, loosened the whole cab up. The cab did have to go back. Apparently when I was making the new cab mounts for the front, it moved forward. I had to pull radiator core support forward to get the fender well in. So now it's in. Concern is this bottom hose for the heater is being slightly kinked because of that hump right there. Here I am touching the paint with my dirty fingers. I need to figure out which line I got to put the heat valve in. That's what that hole's for, is the control cable for it. But yeah, wow, man, I really just jacked it up. I can touch it up. Yeah, it's in. I just have to do that bottom bolt down there where it bolts to the rubber, and that's done. I got a feeling I'm going to have to loosen this up because it was sitting up above it before, and I'm going to have to adjust this whole hinge assembly up. I still got to touch up the spring. Let's see, what else did I do? Got the leaf spring mounted back up. I got to paint the shock yet and put it back in. So yeah, I'm moving on to that. And before I do this side of the radiator core support, I got to cut and weld a new patch panel in for that. And oh yeah, I did discover a new rust hole that I didn't see before. Yeah, that. So I'm going to have to cut it. Where am I? Crossed here. And get my fingers out of the way. And across here, all the way back. I can't do this. And along that edge. And take that whole section out. Reshape this, close that hole off. There's some pinholes back here. I should be able to weld those shut. I might have to make a patch for that. Let's see, that might be rust right there too. I have to poke at that. Sounds hollow. And I still gotta make a patch and weld in for that, for the old gas tank drain. This side, they replaced the inner panel. But they kind of screwed up and left this hole. Sorry about the wiggle. They left that all open, so I'm going to have to close that. But yeah, you can tell. I got the frame done up to that cab mount. I got to strip all this, clean it, figure out how I'm going to get this floor stripped. This is all undercoating right here, and where I burned it, it just flakes. So yeah, oh, nice. There's an old exhaust mount they just left there. How can I get that off? 2 bolts. Okay, I'll take those off and get rid of that. Let me turn my light on. Okay, yeah. There we go. Yeah, I'll get that off of there. You can see here, my wires come down. I need to put a clip on, plastic tie on there, a couple of them. Make sure it doesn't rub up against the emergency brake cable. They come out of the floor, go down into the frame. They're tucked in along the frame rail. Yeah. Now you can see those rust holes a lot better. I hate undercoating. Shit absorbs water. Even though they say it's not supposed to. It does. But yeah, I'll have to reshape all this. Yep, that is rust. Dang it. I'm going to have to do this rust repair. Shoot. Get all that cleaned up. Up in there. You can see where they did the rear panel patch right there. You can see that difference between the gray and the red oxide. Alright, well, now I know what I gotta do. I'm gonna finish the front first. Get that done. Next is get the shock done, get back on the steering column, make a new panel, the two-piece panel to cover the opening in the floor. I gotta clean the paint off my brake lines. Yeah, that way I can get that all put back together. I'm gonna have to get some steel line so I can make a new fuel line to run all the way from fuel filter there to the back of the frame. Yeah. Step by step, I'm getting there. I'm gonna get that shock painted, cleaned up and painted next. So I'm done with the suspension. Because it's supposed to be below freezing tomorrow night again. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna put that battery box in. What I ended up doing was enlarging the holes. So I do have some adjustment up. We'll see how much that gives me. I'm going to just cut a piece of rubber inner tube and put on that wiper motor assembly for a seal. I'll do that, and I'll put a little bit of seam sealer in there so it seals. So, all right. I just wanted to update you where I'm at. That's in. So I've got to get the bolt, like I said, to get that rubber piece mounted to the bottom and go from there. I don't know why they put such a large hole in there. It doesn't need to be that damn big. But I'll work with it. See what I got in the way of bolts. All right, that's it for now. Alright, okay. Got the wiper motor mounted. Made a new rubber seal for it out of an inner tube from a tire. So, yeah. Excuse me. I do have a little bit of cleanup right there I gotta do. And right there. I end up cutting the mount. I didn't want to. And I end up cutting the corner. Still just barely touching right there. So I'm going to touch this up. Good grief. Yeah. I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm tired for today. Get my little spacer put back up there. Come on. Be nice if they'd make little grooves for that to sit in. But they don't. There. Alright. Good enough to hold it for now. Alright. Oh, yeah. Couldn't believe what a pain in the butt that was to get that fender well back in. But it's done. Like I said, I still got to paint my shock for the driver's side. So I'm going to call it a day. I'm getting hungry. Getting hangry. I'll touch up the bolts for that wiper motor later before I put this fender well in. But yeah, looks different with that fender well in now. Looks nice though that it's all smoothed out. Doesn't have that indent like it did before. I like it. I like it. Alright. I'm going to call it a day. Y'all have a good one. I'll probably be back out here tomorrow working on it. We'll catch you then. Okay, I'm back. I didn't do it the next day, the video. This is actually Sunday. Saturday I went out exploring. I don't remember what was going on Sunday or Friday. So, anyways, it's Sunday, Easter. What I'm doing today was I made a template. Let me turn the phone around and I'll show you. Made a template of these fender mounts. They actually will bolt right here, right there. And then on the fender, they bolt in there. So, of course, as typical fashion, I've got both of them bent up, welded together. Now I gotta drill my holes. And the ones down here on the long part, I'm not going to be able to drill really until I get the fender up there. Because I want to make sure it has enough distance to pull the fender tight in like it's supposed to up here, like this. Because before, it was sitting there with a gap like that. So, doing that today. I did get the leaf spring done. Got the bottom mount cushion put in. I got my shock painted. And I did realize that when I cut this corner off, I'm going to be okay, because if you look here, that nut lines up with the top of this. And it'll actually be down a little bit. So that'll give me a little bit of clearance there. So I'm going to not worry about it until the fender's on. But I did post about on Facebook about painting the wheels. And I mentioned it earlier, I think, in the video. And one person said, don't paint them. Why put lipstick on a pig? Which I understand that. But I can't afford to have custom 17-inch steel wheels made. Because that's what these are. And that's what it takes to clear those brake calipers. So I was thinking paint them the cream color or the metallic brown or black and metallic gray. I can't talk today. So yeah, since there's more orange and cream color, I originally was going to paint just the spokes in the center, but I'm actually thinking just paint the whole wheel cream. I think that would look better than having the aluminum and then the cream. Just keep the center cap chrome and the lug nuts. I think that might look better. And technically, that's as far as I am right now. So I think what I'll do, I'm not sure how long this video is because it's broke up into 3 or 4 parts and I got to edit it. So I think I will just call it a video at this point and stop here. Oh, excuse me. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, I've been moving right along, got a lot accomplished in a short amount of time, which I'm thankful for. So now, like I said earlier, it's to get that other inner fender well done so I can get it painted and installed. Then I can move on to putting the front fenders back on and doing what work I got to do with those. And go from there. And it's moving along. I'm glad I'm picking up the pace. I'm going to have to get a fan in this shop. I'd like to put an exhaust fan up here somewhere on that wall to draw the heat out. Because I got both windows open, both roll-up doors, and the walk-through door open. And it's warm in here. Oh yeah, I did get this done. I found my hangers. So now, I got my extension ladder hung up. I got my 2 step ladders hung up. So now they're not on the floor leaning against fenders and stuff. I do have to go get my other set of jack stands, the 12-ton, out, bring them over. I want to make hangers to get those sawhorses off the floor, too. I'm going to make another hanger, 2x6 crossed here, from here to there, and I'll hang stuff like my grinders on it, my drill, cordless drill case, battery chargers. Of course, I probably should do that on that side. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm going to sign off for now. Y'all take care. Have a good week. If you celebrate Easter for Easter, happy Easter. If you sell it for the real reason, happy Resurrection Day. Y'all have a good week. Stay safe out there with the crazies. And be blessed. I'm out.